So pick your poison. Episode 2. When it comes to exercise selection, so last video we're talking about picking your split, now it's time to pick your movements. So let's go off of the last video and assume you went for my sage wisdom and decided to do push pull legs. Push, pull, legs, and let's assume you're going like full, like purist. So pull's going to be back, ham, bicep, rear delt. Push is going to be chest, front delt, side delt, triceps, and then legs is going to be quad, ham, top up, adductor, calf, glute. How do you pick the movements, Kieran? Yeah. Right, so we need to tick box. I'll do it in red. Quad, ham, adductor, glute, calf. This is actually how I end up writing programs for clients, which is funny. So I split back, like upper, back, and it lats. Again, I'm just going to put R delt for rear delt. And push. I've done this backwards because I'm going right left. Chest. I'm just going to put delts, but it's front and side. And then triceps. So the volume that's going to be the highest, the session that is going to be the highest volume, sorry, likely for myself tends to be for pull, but it will flip-flop between pull and legs. And then the session with the lowest volume is going to be push session. So in terms of your actual split, like the order to have it, I would always favour a rest day either before or after your pull, your leg session, because that's going to be the one that demands the most. It's going to take the most out of you. So, green pen, if I were to do it here, it'd be like push, pull, off, legs, off. This works really well. You probably can't see that on the camera. Let's see if I can zoom in with my new fancy camera remote. Haha. There we go. So, push, pull, off, legs off. Works really well. It does require some like very choice exercise selection, which is what this video is all about. Because if you're kind of doing like a, I hate to say it, a sciencey based, what I would call pull session, I wouldn't necessarily say you need the day off after it. If you're like really getting after it, going full branch one, like full retard, heavy bar rows, heavy deadlifts, really trying to smash your CNS, probably going to need it. I would also, if that's the case, switch your pull and push sessions. So that's what I used to do. So I would do pull, push, legs, because I'm a sucker for any hinges. So legs. There we go. Lovely. So that's what we're going to run with for this delightful video. So you need to tick everything off, movement wise, right? So just assuming whoever this is, call him Steve. Steve's plan. Big Steve. Let's say Steve is a complete newbie. He does not know how much volume he needs for quads, for hamstrings, for calves. He doesn't have a fucking Scooby-Doo. So we can keep everything really, really, really basic. So, I will use the green again. So you're going to do let's say 6 sets for quads. On this session, you're going to do 3 sets for hamstrings. Adductor, we're going to have them squat, so only do 3 sets. For glutes, 3 sets. Calves, let's go 6 sets because everyone's calves suck. Right, hamstrings here, so top up, so you're only going to do 3. Upper back, everyone's upper back sucks. And then lats sucks, so we're just going to split it right down the middle. 6. Rear delts, caught 3. Biceps, 6. Let's go 8 because we're going to do high volume, and then we'll go 8. So, if I use my trusty calculator, because I'm useless with numbers, 22. This was a complete guess, by the way. So if I am way out, you can't say anything because this is free content for me being sound. Pretty close. Pretty damn close. So across the week, for push you're doing 22, for pull you're doing 24, legs you're doing 21. So pretty close within reason. So for quads, you're doing a total of 6 sets a week. Hamstrings, obviously you've got the 3 sets here and 3 sets here. So 6, so it's even. Adductor and glute, you're doing 3 and 3, but we are assuming the quad work he's going to be doing is a squat of some variation. Like a barbell squat, a front squat, a safety bar squat, something heavy, which will then challenge the adductor. And then on this as well, we're going to assume he is doing some form of hinge, whether it be a deadlift, a stiff leg deadlift, something like that. So then that, like tertiary, secondary work gets brought over into glute and adductor because you have to brace and make these things work. Calves, 6 because everyone's calves suck. So that's the method behind here. Upper back and lats, 6 a piece. Rear delts, 3 because when you're using your upper back, you're going to use your rear delts, right? So you could do more, but you're going to be isolating a movement where you can do something else that hits it as well as hitting other things. This is always the argument I make with these types of sessions. Over hamstrings and then biceps, it's a fucking bicep curl. Same here, triceps, it's a tricep. Chest and delts, 8 because they are small muscle groups. So I have found over the years that most people kind of, I wouldn't say they tap out early, but their strength taps out with chest and shoulders. Like they can maybe go really heavy for 3 sets or 2 sets or like 2 movements in a session, but kind of go like this. Because again, it is one, if you look at like the surface area of a chest, of a pec, where's my trusty anatomy sheet? Covered in dog hair. Oh, my finger's not. There you go. Try to see the camera. There you go. To this. That's not working very well, is it? That's messing up my drawings. Right. This is your chest. Teeny tiny muscle. Zoom right in so you can see that bad boy. I'm really not good with this remote. There we go. So this is your chest. This little bit there. This whole thing's your back. So that is my argument. Like, as well, the two muscle groups that are getting the most pressure on them are the smaller muscle groups, the smaller joints, the two joints that you're using when you're training your chest and your shoulders are quite small joints. Like if you compare the size of your elbow to your knee, it doesn't matter who you are, but like your knee's always going to be bigger. And if you compare your shoulder to your hip, so your hip's always going to be bigger. And people could then say the same thing when it comes to training back. It's like, yeah, but you use your elbows and shoulders when you're training your back. No, I get that, but again, that goes to my first point. Is like it's a bigger surface area, so you can go and do like more big movements. Like I wouldn't have someone do like a barbell press, a dumbbell press, another bar press or a Smith press on the same session, but I would have someone do like pull-ups, T-bar, barbell row, or like a dumbbell row in the same session. I don't know, maybe that's just my old pro science brain. So that's argument. So when it comes to picking your exercises, boom, 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 nice and easy. So for chest, like 8 sets, simple. You could do, I would do it this way. I'd do a primer, so like 2-3 sets on a pec deck. I'd do your main movement, so you've done 3 sets, so you've 5 sets left. I'd do your main movement, your main press movement. I'd do 2 sets, really heavy, boom, that gives you 5 sets. I'd do 1 more press and I'd do an intensifier on it, especially since Steve's a rookie. Time to teach him, get him a pump, like really enforce that intensity. So I'd have him do like a chest press machine where he's like rest pause or a drop set or something not overly too complicated, but something to enforce the pump. And then the last 2 sets for chest would be like a cable fly or like a light dumbbell fly or something, or even superset it with push-ups. Something simple just to really like get that blood volume. And this is again something where you can you're still able to progress that. The way I've progressed that is I don't look at it from like set 1. I've done £40 for 15. Next week I need to do £45 for 15. I look at a point of what I can do across the 2 sets, and I try to progress that. Because again, you're deeper into the session, joint strain, elbow strain, all that jazz. And again, get the pump works. And then I would do a similar approach with delts. So I do like a side raise, 3 sets, get the connection, get the blood in the delts. I'd only do the 1 heavy shoulder press. Again, same thing, same reasoning for the chest stuff. I don't know if I'd do like a intensifier for the delts, because if you only have the 3 sets left to play with, I'd probably do 2 sets of a front raise and then another side raise just to really enforce that. But those 3 sets, so it's 2 sets front raise, 1 set side raise. I'd do like intensifiers, or I'd just do a big superset, like a triple set, 3 sets as a superset, something like that. Like shoulders and chest is one of those things that I do think I personally find they respond better to like fast, intense, or more intense sessions. And then triceps, I'd go simple, 2 movements, 3 sets a piece. I'd do like a push down where you're really focusing on isolating it, and then do some form of like skull crusher, or close grip press, or GM press, or something where you're like taking the elbow and shoulder through the full range, and you're getting that stretch and you're moving the tissue. Simple, basic. So for chest, that was 4 movements, and shoulders, that was 4 movements. Triceps, 2. 10 movements, 22 sets. Simple. Pull, this is where it's a wee bit trickier, because with the hamstring stuff, it's kind of where you place it. I personally would do, so like pull-ups, 3 sets, get some blood in the back. I would call that an upper back movement, personally. I wouldn't call that a lat movement. And then I'd do a lat pull, like again, like a single arm lat pull down or a reverse grip or something. 3 sets to get then blood into the lats. And then I'd do the roll, like the compound movement for lats. So whatever that may be, I really rate the prime roll single arm. I've been doing that for a while. And I just do the 3 sets and that's my lats done. Nice and simple. Because when you're talking about this, you don't want to be doing numerous different movements. I've done that. It takes a fucking age. So straight away, you're 3 movements in and you've already finished off all your lat volume. And then you've got your 3 sets upper back to do left. I would make that that's where I do the hamstring thing. So I'd do 1 set of like a lying leg curl to get the hamstrings going. And then I'd because I've done this before, I'd maybe do like a bar roll or T-bar, something where you're hinging and getting used to that movement. And then straight after that, I'd do a deadlift or a stiff leg deadlift or something, or like a good morning. Because then within 6 movements, you've ticked off upper back, lats, and hamstrings. Then all you have to do is rear delts and biceps. Rear delts, fucking keep it basic. Okay, if you've just yanked on a bar and like you just rolled your tits off, all you have to do is a rear delt fly. So 3 sets, reverse pec deck, that's 7 movements, and then same thing with biceps, split them, 2 different movements, 8 sets, 8 movements, sorry. I think that's right. That's my counting. So if I'm wrong, crunch mum. And then with legs, I always start with calves, getting over and done with. Like, no one, if anyone goes heavy on calves or bash it, like proper fucks themselves up with calves, that is not going to adjust or like affect how you then squat. I've done it. Like the day I squat 287, I've done calves first. I've been doing calves first since 2018. That's just the way it makes sense, the way I would do it. So calves, keep it nice and simple. I'd split that, maybe like a standing calf raise or something where your leg is straight. That's how I view it. I think of it as like basic as that, like a leg press, a toe press, a standing calf raise, whatever it may be. I view that as like straight leg work. And then I'd do like a seat calf raise. So 3 sets and 3 sets. And then straight away I'd go adductor and then I'd go glute, because then straight away you've got your calves warm and then your hips warm. And then I'd do hamstring to get the knee warm. Again, like, yeah, this person might not have strong quads, but injury prevention is a big thing for me because I am riddled with injuries. So the key is keeping someone injury free. So it'd be calves, adductor, glute, hamstring, all in that order, and I just keep it like 2 movements, one movement. Nice and simple. For hamstrings, I just do seated leg curl. I can't see a better movement other than that for hamstrings. Like if you were to someone to say, what's the number 1 best movement you could do for hamstrings? Seated leg curl. Like if you want to stand on stage, if you want big fucking legs, if you want thick legs, the seated leg curl is what fills in that gap when someone does like a side chest or side tricep. So like that's the ham hock you want. And then the rest of the quads, I just split it 3 movements, 2 sets a piece. So I'd go like seated curl, I'd then do my squat, and then do a leg press, or a hack squat, or something where you're a bit more stable, but you're doing another compound movement, and then I'd finish on a leg extension. Like you could add lunges, you could do lunges instead of leg extensions, but again, that's a long session. So I'd finish on leg extensions. And that's how I'd run it. It is as simple as that. It's as basic as that as well. Because, like, too many people think of, like, the minutiae, like, I need to do a bilateral lat pull. No, you need to hit your lat. You need to hit your lat from a horizontal, vertical plane and a horizontal plane. Simple as that. Like, yeah, you could get into the minutiae of, like, the actual names of different planes. But, like, if I pull this way, that hits my lat differently than when I pull it this. Simple as that. And that's the 2 ways you can hit it. Like, yeah, you can go lower, but it's still horizontal. You can come at a different angle, but it's still vertical. Simple. Simple as that.